Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, man, I'm back here with another banger, man. And today we are reacting to When Did Park Stop Being Fun? NBA 2K. If this is your first time seeing me on your screen, drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're new. Big on the drop a like, please drop a like so we can push these reactions out here. Let's get into this video, man. This is gonna be interesting.
Park in NBA 2K used to be the best part of the game. Back when grinding to legend and wearing a mascot actually meant something. But over the years, that all changed, making most of the grind feel pointless. Today, we're going year by year, from 2K10's online blacktop all the way to Park in 2K26. That's to see exactly when Park went from an enjoyable grind to one of the most overrated modes in the game. To start off our list, we have 2K10 and 2K11.
Oh my gosh, peak.
We got the same exact mode in both games, but it was our first taste of bringing your player online to play online pickup games. You could just load in and hoop. There was no clothing store, no boosts, and most importantly, no VC. Both games had jerseys, so it felt like you were really stepping into an actual game with your created player. It was simple, it was raw, but it worked. You weren't grinding for rewards, you weren't buying
clothes, the black top. Chat, I've been playing, I'm sorry, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you right now. It's going to be a lot of pauses in this video because I've been playing 2K my entire life, chat. My first 2K was 2K6 with Shaq on the cover. Shaq was on the Heat. 2K was been so peak, bro. I've been playing 2K since I've been able to play the game, bro. I remember Park. I remember like the black top when it first came out, bro. It was peak. It was so peak, bro. I was a kid.
Chasing animations. It was just basketball. For the first time, you could take your player online and test yourself against
no VC, chat. No VC. You didn't have to worry about spending no type of money, bro. You just played my career. Obviously played my career. My career was so lit. It was so lit. You had the NBA draft combine where you had the hoop and you know what I'm saying, you put on a show, you get drafted. Or it was the Rising Stars challenge. You hoop, you put on a show, you got drafted, and then after that, it was actually like a reasonable grind, bro. Like you went from like 70 overall to like in the older 2K, you started like 25 overall, and you had to go all the way up to 99, bro. That was the fun grind. It was fun, bro. It wasn't impossible to play the game as a 60 overall. Today you can't make a 60 overall and go out there and hoop, bro. It's impossible. It's impossible. You have to spend money in order to be. You have to be at least a 92 to 94 overall to be solid. To be like not a liability, bro. It's ridiculous.
People with or without friends. Looking back now, it seems bare bones compared to what Park eventually became, but at the time this was brand new, and the mods made this mode even more memorable. But with all that being said, this was where it all started, the beginning of something that would grow into a centerpiece of NBA 2K. And that leads us to 2K12. Those online pickup games we were just talking about, gone. And it's not like they replaced it with something better, they just took it out. Now there was no way to bring your My Player online and hoop with friends. For anyone
it didn't matter though, 2K12 was still good.
Games or even crew, this felt like a huge step backwards. The servers in 2K10 and 2K11 were pretty bad, but at least you had the option to try and play. In 2K12, there was nothing. You could still hoop offline, sure, but for a lot of players, it felt like 2K stripped away the very thing that made the mode exciting in the first place. It left people frustrated because once you played online, going back to offline blacktop just didn't work. 2K12 ended up being remembered as the year that 2K took away online My Player modes that had real potential. But hey, at least this game had one of the best intros in 2K history.
Facts.
And that leads us to 2K13. After all online My Player modes.
2K13 was probably like my first actual, like, you want to be, okay, so 2K6 was my first 2K, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just playing the game, you know, just playing all the way from 2K6 to 2K12. I'm just playing the game. 2K13 was my first real deal official tissue. Oh yeah, 2K, this 2K, like this 2K.
Removed in 2K12. In 2K13, it actually returned. You could finally bring your guy online again and hoop with friends.
It was threes. They bought the threes.
2K10 and 2K11's pickup
games,
the
black
but
top.
This time, it ran a lot smoother, and the servers weren't perfect, but compared to before, it felt like progress. You just load in with your My Player, and
I remember them pants.
2K13 stand out was that this was the first year 2K introduced VC. For the first time, everything you did in the game was tied back to one currency.
The VC was straight, chat. 1,000 VC was a lot of VC back then, bro. Dog, you had 1,000 VC, you was balling, bro. You had 1,000 VC, you was balling.
You earned VC in almost every mode, and you would spend it to buy the most important things in the game. And along with the VC came the brand new My Player shop. For the first time,
you could put drip. You could get drip.
And jewelry to customize your player. And that was so you could show it off when you played online. This was a game changer. But it is also where 2K realized how much people cared about cosmetics and customizing their players. But back then, at least things were fairly priced. You weren't dropping 20k VC on a do-rag.
20k for a do-rag is ridiculous, chat. It's ridiculous. I'm almost at a point where I don't even buy clothes in 2K anymore. I'm literally almost at that point, bro. They put the same clothes in every week. It's almost at a point. I buy the same fit every year, chat. Literally. I buy the same fit. They've been putting the same clothes in the game since 2K19, bro. And we've been saying for years, since 2K18. Since 2K18, we've been saying lower the VC prices. Lower the VC prices, and they're not listening, bro. 2K not listening. 2K not listening at all.
The grind still felt manageable, and the shop was something fun that they added to the game. But it wasn't the whole point of the mode. There was no rep system, no huge rewards for playing.
No rep
Online
system.
Blacktop was a better version of what the game had before. And most of all, 2K13 brought online hooping back and laid the foundation for what Park eventually would become. And that leads us to 2K14. 2K14
Peak.
14 changed everything. It wasn't just matchmaking anymore. This was the first year 2K introduced Park. Instead of pressing start and waiting for a game to load, you could now walk around a shared environment and step on the got next spot. And then you'd wait for the next game. It completely changed how people experienced NBA 2K. Now you could pull up to the park with friends, step on the court, and see other players walking around too. You'd watch players hooping on the courts while you waited, and it made the mode feel alive in a way no 2K game had ever done before. It may seem simple now, but in 2K14, this was groundbreaking. Seeing 10, 20, 30 other players walking around with their My Players all at once.
It's so nostalgic,
Park
bro.
instantly felt like a community. It was the start of something special, something that players had only dreamed of before, and it would end up becoming the backbone of NBA 2K for the next decade. And that leads us to 2K15.
That was so nostalgic.
2K15
the demigod 2K part was so fun this year, bro. You could literally make a 7-footer that could do anything, bro.
Start of the golden era for my part.
You had 7-foot dribble guys. Picture. Okay, so for all my new age people, picture a 7-foot max wingspan. Curry slider. Curry slider.
Community. Affiliations gave players an identity. You weren't just a My Player.
Affiliations.
You were repping Rivet, Sunset, or Ultimate, and people took pride in it. This was the first year of Rival Days, where parks battled against each other for bragging rights. Rival Days made the mode competitive and gave everyone a reason to keep grinding even after they got to 99. The grind to Legend in 2K15 was massive, but that's what made it meaningful. If you saw a Legend walking around, you respected it because you knew how much time and effort went into getting there. And unlike nowadays, mascots actually meant something. They weren't just a cosmetic you got in the battle pass. And to make things even better, at the end of the year, the park with the most Rival Day wins got a brand new park design. This type of thing was unheard of at the time, and it made the grind feel like
and like I said at the beginning, you want to click off this video, you can, bro, because there's gonna be a lot of pausing. This right here, this for the culture, dog. This mean a lot to me, bro. One thing I want to say too, back then in these 2Ks, even though there was a thing like demigods and all this stuff like that, it was more competitive, bro. I don't even play Park anymore, bro. I'm a Fives player now. I play Pro-Am and Rec, bro. I don't play Park anymore because there's no such thing as a bum anymore, bro. When you was playing Park, there used to be a clear skill difference, a clear skill gap of who was gonna win the game, bro. You could actually go on the court, have fun with your homeboys, try stuff, alley-oops, windmills off the backboard. You can't do that no more. You haven't been able to do that for how many years now? I want to say since maybe 2K20. 24 maybe 23 22 around the skill gap kind of disappeared right there, bro. It's crazy. Like, there's no such thing as a bum anymore. Every game you play, you feel like you sweating or you trying mad hard.
2K15 wasn't just fun, it was competitive,
skill gap
it was
disappeared.
rewarding, and for many players, this is when the peak of Park first
He made
began.
it too.
And that leads us to another great year with 2K16. 2K16 took
2K16, the GOAT 2K, man. The GOAT 2K, bro. I know. The GOAT to shout out Pretty Boy Fredo. Shout out Cheeseaholic. Shout out Solomonati. Shout out God Trill. Shout out Hank the Tank. Shout out, who else we shouting out, chat? Shout out CK the Great. For all the real OG 2K players, you know CK the Great was a bucket, man. 2K16, bro.
15 built and made it even better. Affiliations continued.
This is the best 2K ever.
Parks, and the grind to legend still actually felt like it meant something and was so rewarding. But what made 2K16 special was how much.
Look at the drip. Look at the mascots.
Every time you loaded into Park, and you knew exactly where you stood compared to the rest of the community, and so did everyone else. This created real competition. If you were chasing top 10 in Rivet or Sunset, everyone knew your name. Being a top rep wasn't just a personal accomplishment; it made you a known player in the community.
Fredo.
One of the great additions that 2K still has not added back to this day was the addition of the 21 core. This was a 3-player.
The 21 core.
Every man for themselves. The 21 core quickly became a fan favorite because it was chaotic, competitive, and fun. Sadly, 2K still has not added this back in the game. 2K16 also introduced being able to get a pet tiger.
The tiger. 2K22 ruined the tiger, bro. Man, the tiger, chat. I had a tiger. 2K16, I had a tiger, bro. I hit Legend 4, but I wasn't able to buy the tiger. I ain't had no VC. I ain't had no VC.
Became one of the most iconic rewards in Park history. If you saw someone walking around with a tiger, you knew that they had been grinding and you're probably going to get cooked. For many players, this is the year they think of when they talk about best Park ever, because it had affiliations, competition, iconic rewards, and the community felt the most alive it had ever been. 2K16 showed what Park should be, and it feels like 2K has been chasing this greatness ever since. And that leads us to 2K17. 2K17 continued.
Oh my god, 17, the second best 2K all time.
Was still real, and it was still a good game, but it didn't quite feel as fresh as 15 and 16. In 2K17, the grind to legend was still tough.
Look at the bomber, look at the varsity jacket. Look at the OG jetpack, man. The jetpack we got now, that just suck. Look at the liveliness of the park.
Magic had started to fade. It wasn't bad by any means, and people
you
still
get Pro 2
believe
cross.
this is
Hey,
years of Park. But compared to 15 and 16,
21 court,
things were starting to slow down. But still, 2K17 is still up there with the greats. For some, it was the last time Park really felt fresh. And that leads us to when 2K fell off their rocker. 2K18.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. 2K18 was not as bad as we think, bro. I actually enjoyed 18. But I was definitely still on 17 when 18 was out. I was good at 18, but I was still on 17 because 17 was 17. But 18 was pretty fire. Compared to the 2Ks we have now, today, bro, 18 was fire, bro. 18 was fire. I don't care.
This is where things really started to go downhill. 2K18 introduced the neighborhood. On paper, it sounded incredible.
The neighborhood was terrible.
A living world where you could walk around, visit stores, and play basketball. In reality, it became one of the most frustrating years of Park ever. And the problem wasn't just the design. It was the way 2K leaned into greed.
The VC price, what I just told you. People didn't start complaining about VC till 2K18. I can't say that, bro. I can't say that, bro.
Clothes were overpriced, boosts became basically mandatory, and the old rep grind was gone. They replaced it with
I remember when if you bought a boost, you was a bum. If you bought boost, you was a bum, bro.
The road to 99, making every single reward locked behind VC. For the first time, it felt like the grind wasn't about basketball anymore. It was about how much VC you could spend. They even started charging for haircuts.
They charged 100 VC for haircuts, chat. I'll never forget it. I kid you not, chat. I remember not having enough VC to get a new hairstyle, bro.
That had always been free prior to this game. Overall, the neighborhood had potential to be the future of Park, but 2K completely botched it. They tried to charge for every little thing they could, and it just took the life out of this game completely. And it made Park damn near unplayable. 2K18 quickly went from hype to disappointment, and for many, this was the year the decline truly began. And that
boy
leads us to
Mr. Green.
2K19. 2K19.
2K19 was probably my best 2K of all time, bro. 2K19 was my best 2K of all time. No question. No question, bro. No question at all, bro. I miss 2K19, man.
Some improvement.
I had a 7'1" rebounding athletic with a 39 3-ball pulling from half court. Chad Green, yeah, Green, Chad Green. No question. My bad. I had to try.
The neighborhood looked completely different from 2K18. This
neighborhood was
also
iconic too,
introduced, and it was a fun addition. When that fire icon popped up under
Takeover was lit.
The game could flip instantly.
This part was lit.
2K18 weren't fixed. The rep grind was still replaced with Road to 99, and progression still felt tied behind VC. You could
Nah. Road to 99 was solid. And okay, so 2K18 VC prices became a thing, but 2K19 was good. It was actually good, so it overshadowed the VC prices.
Feel the improvement.
20 was the same way,
but it wasn't enough to bring Park back to its glory days. They tried their best with the new events, but again, this game just did not feel the same. 2K19 overall had some cool features, but it still wasn't the Park players were asking for. And that leads us to 2K20. In 2K20, the neighborhood returned, and it was literally the same layout as 2K19. Same courts, same designs, just different lighting and different events. And for the first time, the seasons actually changed with new themes. Winter, fall, and spring. It was a small touch, but it kept the modes somewhat fresh. The difference this year was Park rep. My rep returned, and for the first time in years, players could grind from rookie to legend again. That brought real purpose back to Park. And events like Gold Rush, Basketball Gods, and Big Top Challenge gave Park more energy too. And of course, 2K20 became a special year because of COVID. With everyone stuck at home, Park had one of the biggest player bases ever. Some people argue that 2K20 is overrated because of COVID, but either way, it was one of the better versions of Park we've had in recent years.
The Legend helicopter entrance
and a huge player base made it feel alive again. And that leads us into 2K21. Next gen, 2K went all in. Something brand
new. I remember buying 2K21 next gen and didn't get next gen. Oh man, bro. 21. I like 20. Shout out 2K21. I hit 1,000 subscribers on 2K21 on my main channel, Steph2K. Go check that out if you haven't already. 2K21, bro. It's love-hate, bro. I hit 1,000 subscribers. I had the most viewers I ever had, streaming-wise. I was going crazy, bro. Didn't play next gen. Can't speak about it. Current gen was fire. The birth of my Sharp. The best pro team ever, too.
On paper, it sounded like the future of Park. A massive open world with affiliations and more courts than ever. In reality, the city was way too big. And when you combine that with 2K's notoriously mid-servers, it caused unneeded latency and wasted time. Instead of hooping,
that's where Zens came too, Chat.
Sprinting around a giant map. And although affiliations returned, which should have been
2K21,
exciting, the same as the golden days of 2K15 through 2K17. And a big reason, they removed the competitive element. The best affiliation no longer won a brand new Park. And me personally, I think that one change alone killed a lot of motivation. And of course, VC was still a problem. Clothes, boosts, animations, everything tied back to spending more. 2K21 will always be remembered as the year we got the biggest Park ever with the city, but unlike my girlfriend, we learned bigger doesn't always mean better. And that leads us to 2K22. 2K22 was another split.
22
gen, we got the
22 current gen was fire. I love 22 current gen. 22 next gen, I like the gameplay, but I didn't necessarily like the Park. I didn't like the online gameplay.
Cruise ship, a refreshing change of scenery that actually worked better than expected. On next gen,
22 was solid.
Returned. This time, a little smaller, and fast travel tried to cut down the endless running, but even then, it was still too much. At launch, the gameplay actually felt solid. Smooth movement, cleaner shooting, and for a brief moment, Park felt fun again. But then, just a month in, 2K dropped a patch that absolutely killed the game, and it became a cycle that we've seen way too many times. Legend returned this year too, but not in the way players wanted. Instead of grinding thousands of Park games over the year, you now had to hit level 40 across 4 different seasons. And
I couldn't even do it, Chat.
To make things worse, seasons also gave players mascots, and with so many players running around as mascots,
like look at this, bro. Oh man, I hated this, bro. I hated this so much. Look at the mascots, bro. Look at the mascots. Oh, how the times change. Look at the mascots and the Tigers.
lost all relevancy. 2K22 isn't
It hurt my heart,
perfect,
dog.
but compared to 21, it felt like a step in the right direction. At least the cruise ship was fun, and for a short window, gameplay
It was
actually
fun
felt
though. Yeah, I don't take that away.
and that leads us to 2K23. 2K23 kept the same formula, the city on next gen and the cruise ship on current gen. And at this point, they both felt recycled. On next gen, the city got a facelift. The layout was slightly tweaked, but when you loaded in, it was still the same oversized environment, with way too much running around and the same exact vibe we had the year before. The courts were scattered across a giant map, and even though it looked different on the surface, the core experience didn't feel new. On current
I
gen,
hated that.
the cruise ship returned with small changes to the deck.
Current gen was fire.
It had different levels, but again,
23 current gen was fire.
walk around, find a court, and hoop. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't anything players hadn't seen in 2K22.
23 current gen was
Seasons were back
fire.
again, and once more, the rewards were mid. Banners, emotes, clothing, nothing worth grinding for. The big incentive.
Exactly, bro. Like, I don't know where they get this idea of banners, arm sleeves, and I don't understand where that come from, bro. But it's not worth grinding at all. Nobody wants that stuff, 2K. Nobody wears that stuff, bro. I don't know. This game, 2K don't even update its own game anymore, bro. Unless they find like a VC glitch or something. Then they own it. They on top of it then. But they don't even upgrade their own game anymore, bro. It's AI. It's all AI. The next few seasons are all AI, bro. The game is not gonna do nothing but get worse and even more dried up. They working on 2K27 right now as we speak.
Incentives of past years like mascots and legend rewards didn't carry the same weight. Gameplay was okay, shooting felt cleaner, dribbling had more depth, and defense felt a little bit stronger, but none of that solved the biggest issue. Park was still stale. The new look city and cruise ship gave the illusion of change, but once you played for a week, it felt like you were back in 2K22. 2K23 wasn't a disaster, but it also wasn't exciting. The grind had no meaning, the rewards were forgettable, and the environments, whether the city or the cruise ship, didn't do enough to keep people engaged. For a lot of players, this is when Park officially crossed the line from being fun to just being a waste of time. And that leads us to 2K24. 2K24 brought back the city once again. It had a new
24,
look, but
I
just like
officially
prior
retired
years, underneath
from
the
2K.
surface, it was the same.
I was just playing to play. This
Pro Play
where,
was one of 2K's
matter of fact,
biggest.
2K24, the year I stopped playing Park, I stopped playing Park in 24. It became unplayable. Everybody was good. There was no skill gap.
Selling points this year with animations captured straight from NBA footage, which was cool on paper, but in Park it really, with animations captured straight from NBA footage, which was cool on paper, but in Park it really didn't matter.
Wait.
Captured oversized environment.
KD to
Pro Play
GOAT.
was one of
I just like to see his. I like to see him.
With animations captured straight from NBA footage, which was cool on paper, but in Park it really didn't matter. It didn't fix the core issues. And of course, seasons returned again, and the rewards, no surprise here,
Pro Play's still in the game.
Again, just gave you points.
Like I said earlier, like I said twice in this video so far, if you're tired of me pausing, click off the video. This means something to me. This video's sentimental, bro. Pro Play was just the introduction of AI. It was the introduction of AI, bro. Literally. They don't 2K doesn't even put animations in the game anymore. It's like, all right, take a picture, put it in. Take a picture, put it in. Take a picture, put it in. That's literally all they're doing. That's literally all they're doing, bro. It's lazy. It's lazy. And look at these rewards, bro. 30 minutes of 2x rep. 5 skill boost. Oh man. I don't play my team, but I'm getting a free agent Wemby. And then the Emerald Luka. 80 overall Emerald Luka. Oh man. I need to hit level 4 so I can get this next scarf. Dang, I wish I can get this 5,000 VC when I hit level 5 because, but I gotta ask my mom to pay for the pass the pass for this season.
Banners, animations,
sad,
and cosmetics. Nothing meaningful. And grinding to level 40 didn't feel like an achievement at all. Honestly, it felt like 2K just wanted their own version of a battle pass to try and maximize profits. And affiliations still really meant nothing. Events were recycled, and the city still didn't feel alive. Park in 2K24 was stale, repetitive, and felt like it had no identity anymore. Another year.
You see how I'm getting sleepy towards the end of this video?
Nothing really changed. And that's going to bring us to 2K25. 2K25.
Oh my lord. 25. 2K25, hands down, the worst 2K of all time. Out of all the 2Ks we just talked about here, 2K25 is the worst 2K ever. 2K25 is the absolute worst 2K ever. Whose idea was it to change my jump shot timing when I start going crazy? Chat, that's ridiculous, bro. Like, that's ridiculous, bro. And you have people out here actually starting to shoot with a stick. 2K26, we can justify shooting with a stick, bro. Because it's too easy. It's too easy. But 2K25, bro.
Launched with a lot of hype, but Park players instantly realized what was going on. The city was back again. Sure, it was a little bit better, but the same cycle of running around and recycled gameplay was still there. I'll give it credit, it was slightly better than years past, but not by much. Seasons were still the formula, and everyone knew the drill. Grind to level 40, earn some banners, emotes, and cosmetics, and move on. This stayed the same year after year. At first, Park gameplay felt okay. Shooting was green or nothing, and those overpowered all-around builds weren't as common. But after a couple weeks, it became obvious. Paint defense was terrible, post scorers were taking over the game, and the tweaks just were not enough. It was still the same as previous years. Loading into the city, running around, and grinding for rewards that didn't matter. Events kept coming back, but they were the same ones from prior years, and the only exciting event came from when they added the old parks from 2K15 as an event. But this was just a strategy to sell the game, and honestly, they just didn't hit the same. If they're gonna do this, you gotta just add the park all year round. When you add it as an event, it just doesn't feel the same. And the grind feels
I got nothing to say, Chad.
Meaningless, and the mode that wants to find the community had
got nothing to say about this game.
Recycled garbage. And that leads us to the most recent
2K26. Supposed to be 2K16 2.0, but they failed. They failed, bro. I think everybody really caught on this year. Finally, Chad, after what's 2K18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. After 8 years of BS, everybody finally caught on this year. 2K26 off the drop was great. Had the potential to be the best 2K. Better than 16, bro. Had the potential to be better than 16, bro. When the game first dropped, it was a lot of diversity. There was different builds. The season pass was still there, but the gameplay would have disregarded the season pass. So you had people midi fading. You had 7-4 centers shooting over everything. No contests. It had this arcadey feel that was fun, bro. It was fun. And they dropped a patch. They nerf shooting. They buffed the contest system a little bit. It's contest is still broke. And now I blame the community for this one. Everybody cheat. Everybody got us in and cheat. If somebody's shooting, I'll say 80 and up, cheating out. They got serious cheating allegations, bro. Serious. Man, it's ridiculous, bro. It's ridiculous. And 2K not doing nothing about it. They banning people who actually grinded, and got to the top rep or whatever. They banning people that's actually grinding the game, and they just letting people cheat, bro, because they don't care. They see what's going on, bro. 2K not as big as it used to be. They see everybody complaining about cheaters, bro, and they not doing nothing about it because they don't care. They're making money. They're making money. When you buy that battle pass, that season pass, every new season, I ain't gonna lie, I'll be buying it. I'll be buying it because I got the money to get it, and because I actually like the game this year, despite all the patches and all the BS. Yeah, I like it still, bro. But it's dead. They ruined it. They ruined it.
After spending some time on 2K26, I'll be real. Park actually feels like it's heading in the right direction for once. The city looks better, matchmaking feels smoother, and the mode feels more playable out the gate than it has in a while. Seasons are still here, but the rewards are a little more thought out this time. It's not perfect, but it's at least looking like they actually made some progress this year. Gameplay feels faster and smoother, shooting is cleaner, there's less RNG, and games flow better overall. But of course, the builder still allows metas to dominate. And right now, the biggest problem is those 7-4 builds. Nobody can contest them, and it ruins the balance.
Look at this.
The problem is, 2K has already started dropping patches that hurt the game, so we'll have to see what happens moving forward. And that is the history of Park. From online pickup games in 2K10 to the golden years of being a part of an affiliation and when Legend actually meant something, to recycled cities and battle pass grinds we've been given the past few years. It's been a journey, and for better or worse, it's left us with a lot of memories. So when did Park stop being...
All right, chat, man. I turned this 15-minute video into a 30-minute video. Like I said in the beginning of the video, if you're new to the channel, this is your first time seeing me on your screen, drop a like, subscribe, man. Where do y'all think? Are y'all getting 2K27? Cause chat, I ain't gonna hold you. I don't think I'm getting it, bro. I never said it before. I never said I wasn't getting 2K. I've said I might not get 2K, but I've always ended up getting 2K because I like 2K. I've been playing 2K for a long time. But 24, I don't think I'm getting it, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. It's like an extra bill you gotta pay. I don't think I'm getting it, bro. Because, nah. I don't want an arm sleeve from when I hit level 20, dog. I'll see you on the next reaction video, bro.